Initiating podcast download. Prepare yourself. Put on your spandex. Lace up your boots. Wrap your wrists. Hide your razor blade. Head to gorilla position. Grease up your hair. Apply baby oil. Okay, apply more baby oil. Get into gimmick. Keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Have fun and be safe out there, brother. Welcome to Iron on Wrestling. Now your host, Gregory Iron.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Iron on Wrestling with Gregory Iron. I'm your host, Gregory Iron. This is episode 229. Genuine was a very underrated artist back in the 90s. Pony, great song.
I hate that song.
What? Okay, well, who asked you, pal?
My parents conceived my little sister to that song.
That's disturbing.
It ruined the song for me.
I could see why that would happen.
Yeah.
I'm Gregory Iron. Of course, I'm joined by my producer, Sean Flash Robbins. Hello.
What's up?
Okay. What is going on here? Why are you a Bud Light frog?
I'm not. I'm Devon.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
From the Dudleys?
Okay. Yeah.
Devon Dudley.
No Aaron again this week. He is recovering at home due to his leg injury. He has a travel ban, I guess. So I guess it would be a no travel ban, would be to not travel. He can't come to the show in the studio.
Yeah, it's
not what I'm trying to say.
He's not like a domestic terrorist or something.
Okay. So yeah, he can't be here today. Hopefully we can work out the Zoom situation in the near future. We've had some audio issues with it. We've had some lagging, so we're just gonna kind of play it by ear. We'll try to work this out maybe this weekend with Aaron. We'll figure out what's going on, but we wish Aaron all the best and a speedy recovery. We do have a great show today. We're going to talk about a variety of things that involve professional wrestling, maybe some things that don't. I believe, Sean, the main topic of discussion today is going to be perhaps an argument for who the greatest actor is in wrestling, how we would rank actors in wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestlers that act. Is that what I want to say?
I think you're getting closer every time.
Okay.
Wrestlers turned actors would probably be the way
That actually sounds great.
Yeah.
So.
Well. Yeah, because Chris Jericho, famed wrestler, sort of turned actor, but
sort
not
of
really.
turned actor, yeah.
Not great at it.
He was in MacGruber.
He was. My favorite. Who was your favorite guy in MacGruber? Big Show.
Mark Henry. I don't know. I listen. Hot take. I didn't like MacGruber. I didn't like
agree.
the movie.
I think it's weird that it's like, because I love Will Forte.
Yeah.
And
I love the skits.
Yes, but the movie was not good.
It didn't. To me, it was one of those SNL movies that didn't transition into a. It was great as a skit, but not good as a movie. And you can say that about a lot of the SNL films. But I've had a lot of people tell me, particularly Zach Gowen, give it another chance. It's hilarious. And I saw that movie in theater with Johnny Gargano, and we laughed out loud like once.
Yeah.
It was a dud. Like I think like Val Kilmer did something in the movie.
Right.
I
forgot he was even in it. And I watched this a few months ago to also give it another chance.
Yeah, like so it's still not good.
Yeah, no.
I remember I was mad that Zach kept trying to tell me to rewatch it. I tweeted about it a few years back about how terrible it was. Didn't tag anybody other than Zach Gowen. Just said, MacGruber is a terrible movie. I'll never watch it again. It sucks. And who was the director of that movie? Or like one of the producers was like one of the guys from the Lonely Island. Am I right when I say that?
Let me look real quick. I'm on IMDb.
Whoever it was, the director or the producer, he must have been vanity searching of MacGruber and people shit talking it. because then he liked the tweet, and I was like, who just liked this tweet? And it was like the dude from the Lonely Island. I was like, oh, okay, so you're just being passive aggressive and you don't like people.
Oh, was it I don't know how to say his first name, like Akiva Schaffer?
I believe so.
He is an executive producer on it.
There you go. So yeah, he was just like real butthurt that I didn't like MacGruber.
Well, he liked it.
Yeah, but I felt like
It was a sarcastic one.
yeah, because again, I didn't tag him. Like, what was he just like? Want to see people hate tweeting about MacGruber?
Yeah.
Oh, this
right.
fucking crippled
Right.
fuck.
I'm going to bed soon. I gotta go look at the hashtag of every movie I was ever involved in to make sure no one's saying anything bad about it.
Yeah, well, it doesn't show that he's insecure at all.
No.
That's all I'm trying to say. But yeah, we'll talk about some wrestlers turned actors and maybe some of the good and terrible movies that they were in. And we'll talk about a variety of other things. Sean, I know we were talking a lot before we started recording.
Yeah.
We do that a lot. Sometimes what we don't record is probably better than what we actually record, especially based on the YouTube views. We're trying to grow with this YouTube thing, so make sure you subscribe. Actually, the shorter clips that we're posting are getting a lot more views than the longer clips. I'm really trying to figure out the algorithm and how these things work. Like I posted a short about Bret Hart admitting that Goldberg isn't such a bad guy from 2005, and so it kind of makes you wonder, at what point did he decide that Goldberg sucked? Because if you look at, there's like a timeline of like Bret doing various things where he put over Goldberg after the injury.
Yeah.
So I'm totally getting off topic here, but I guess this is something we could talk about based on
Why
the
not?
YouTube thing.
You have the YouTube video, yeah.
2005, in his Bret Hart documentary, which is the clip that I posted, it's like 8 seconds long over the YouTube, so go watch it. He basically said, Goldberg, it's a shame that a guy like Goldberg with such a good heart is the one that ended my career. Something to that effect.
Yeah.
In 2007, when he released his autobiography, he also put over Goldberg and said he doesn't blame him, blah, blah, blah. I think in like 2015, he was hanging out with Goldberg somewhere, posted a photo of him and Goldberg together like there was nothing. And then at some point around 2016 or 2017, roughly around the time Goldberg came back to wrestling, he just decided that he hated him and that he ruined his life and cost him millions of dollars. I wonder where the change came in.
I feel like, because, the video where Bret Hart, I think it was like one of the earlier Wrestle Talk videos where he says like Triple H has never had a really good match.
4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch it sometimes because it's just so funny how he goes from just not really talking. There's like it seems like the interview's about to be over and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do another 10 minutes where I just bury Triple H.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pretend that I don't that I'm being nice about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's very funny, and I watch it sometimes just because it's so funny. But I feel like his bitterness, what didn't consume him yet back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's just being bitter for so long. Now he's just bitter about everything.
See,
and I love. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Same. And listen, all my in-person interactions with Bret have been great. So I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if these guys just say things to get rises out of the internet or to keep their names in the headline. Like Jim Cornette.
I was going to ask, do you think Jim Cornette says things just to get
1,000%?
Yeah.
Because he does. Again, I've talked about this on the show. It's not what he says sometimes. It's how he says it. Because if you listen to what Jim Cornette says, 90% of the things he's saying is true.
Mm-hmm.
And people could really learn from Jim Cornette. But also, and there's some bias for me, like when he buries a guy like Johnny on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And says, Johnny Wrestling is Johnny's same face and all this shit. Like, I don't get that at all. Because, again, bias, he's my best friend. But, I think Johnny Gargano is better at telling a story and getting people to feel emotion more than many wrestlers. And I think
more than Jim Cornette ever has.
but you could argue that. I mean, listen, he elicited some pretty negative reactions from crowds when he was with the Midnight Express. Okay,
Yeah.
He got some heat.
Uh-huh.
But I'm saying Gargano has some range, man, and he was able to really provoke emotion out of people even before WWE. I mean, obviously the WWE system helped him become incredible at it. But Sean, were you at Resolution 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, that was Coming of Age, or is that 3?
A Coming of Age, yes. Josh Prohibition versus Johnny Gargano. I've mentioned this before, but there are a few moments that I remember specifically about what a live crowd was doing if it was something other than cheering or booing. And I remember watching Prohibition and Gargano live from the stage as it was happening because I really wanted to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a moment where Gargano can't take out Josh Prohibition. I think he's going to hit him with a chair, but he thinks differently about it, and he puts the chair down. And he has this moment of like, you know, what am I doing? This guy was my mentor at one point. Like, I can't do this to this guy. He puts the chair down. He like puts his head down, turns away, and turns his back to Josh. The moment that he does that, Josh instantly, because he's a prick, takes the chair and picks it up and like pulls it back. And as he does that, like, the crowd like comes up. Before that happens, though, when Johnny puts the chair down, like, he has two moments where he goes and takes the chair back himself, and the crowd has this like hush, like they, and then he doesn't do it, and you can like hear the air come out of the crowd, and he does it again, and the crowd does it again, and like I don't ever outside of like a WrestleMania remember hearing like reactions like that.
Yeah,
and like that was from just like 1,000 people. Also, you know, the pavilion, the Plain Dealer Pavilion, the Nautica Pavilion, whatever you want to call it, whatever it was at the time, it's had like 5 different names.
I think back then it was the Nautical.
So the Nautical?
Nautica.
The Nautical Pavilion,
Yeah,
filled with fish and...
I mean, it's not that different from Nautica. I mean,
True, very true. You know, it's not like a rooftop, it's just like a tent. So like when you're in an open air atmosphere like that, wrestling, sound is different.
Yeah.
But like just like that reaction from a crowd and then silence. I don't know. I think it takes a special person to bring that emotion out of someone
because
like
you
that.
need to know. You need to have timing. You need to like understand your surroundings.
Yeah.
And I mean, because I feel like if I was a wrestler, which of course I'm not.
Yes.
Because I don't have a high threshold for pain.
You don't know that.
Oh no, I know it. I went to wrestling school.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, that stuff hurts.
Yeah, it does. Not easy.
No.
Yeah.
So then I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to do that anymore, which is good because I, then I would have to get hurt all the time, and that seems lame.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to, live your life full of pain and suffering.
Yeah, like
at least physically.
Yeah. No, I've been doing it emotionally though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. I'm right there with you.
Well, see, I only had to do the emotionally one. Physically, I feel great.
Yeah. Good.
But if I was a wrestler, I feel like I would make the mistake of being like, I want to, like this I would botch the moment. I would be trying to do it way too fast, or I don't think I could get it in the way they got it.
It comes in time. Like just sometimes some people pick it up faster than others. Like Johnny was, when he first started, there's been a lot of people that have called themselves this, but his name was the Prodigy, John Gargano. Okay. But he was one of those people that like that nickname actually worked for him because of just, I don't know, I don't know what it was that he just soaked up all this knowledge like a sponge. But he got it way quicker than anybody I've ever met. And he's one of the best people I know. Also incredibly morbid, but the public will never know that. Only me. That's why we get along. So
you are in the public as far as the internet video world goes right now. So now people are going to know he's morbid.
They can know, but he'll never prove it.
Fair play.
There's that. I don't know why I went into this big rambling. But
we were talking about Jim Cornette, and he says bad things about your best friend.
Yeah, but before that, Jim Cornette, there's a reason why we brought him up. Oh, just people saying things that get rises out of people. Bret Hart, just saying stuff. I don't know. Because listen, it's like watching the news. All these murders and deaths and just
that's not
crimes.
Really happening.
It's like that's all. That's all they want to talk about on the news. Like the good stories, they get buried in the bottom. Yeah. No one wants to hear the good stories.
Yeah,
they want to hear all the dirt.
I don't care about like a duck that did a backflip or something. What do I care?
You probably should. That seems impressive.
No,
a duck that did a backflip.
Maybe I should have thought of something more pathetic.
Yeah, like a duck doing a backflip. I'm like, where's this duck, and how can I steal him to put him on my YouTube and just stop doing wrestling? And just like, oh, it's not getting any views. Where's my duck so he can do a backflip?
Great idea. And then, or you could just use the footage as the background, do a green screen type thing, and just talk about wrestling in front of this duck.
You just does backflips, and like no one is listening to anything I'm saying.
Yeah, but somehow it's still a wrestling show. That would be neat. Maybe we're trying new things. You guys heard them, the algorithm. We're trying to figure out the algorithm.
Okay. Do you guys like ducks that do backflips? Comment below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel to be on the lookout for more duck backflip content.
If Jim Cornette was an animal, what do you think he'd be?
Boy, you're putting me on the spot here.
A sloth?
No. Something that's
Something that likes to watch its wife fuck other dudes. What kind of animal does that?
There's got to be an animal that does do that. Like, there's just got to be like a cuck animal, right? It just hangs out and like propositions other animals to just bang out his mate, right?
Animals.
Can I say cuck on YouTube? I just said it twice now.
Yeah, I think that's where the word got famous.
All right.
Well,
also,
another video website maybe, but that one too.
All right.
Cuckold.
Also, hey, listen, I'm not kink shaming anybody.
No, I just pointing it out. You know, I was actually saying that's one of the reasons I like Jim Cornette.
Okay. Maybe you should have trained at the OVW school then.
Maybe I should have.
You might still be in the business.
I might. The things I would have done for his wife for a OVW championship match.
Oh boy.
Let's see. I can't really find it. I'm really bad at Google. I just typed in animals that cuck.
Okay. I don't think you're going to like everything that's going to come up in your search engine.
Yeah,
now.
I should have used my other one.
Should have opened an incognito tab.
It's too late.
Yep.
I'm already corrupted.
Yeah, oh boy. Next time we talk to Sean, he'll be going through a divorce. His wife's going through his phone.
Why did you watch all these videos of Jim Cornette?
Yeah, that's what she's going to be worried about. Hey, we're a week removed from it, and of course I hyped it up last week because we were looking into the future. Sean, what did you think of my costume for Halloween?
Your costume? I liked it.
You don't even remember my costume?
Yes, I remember your costume. You were Linda McMahon.
Yeah, damn right I was Linda McMahon.
I thought it was great. I thought you guys are a cute couple.
Thank you.
Cute as a button.
Thank you.
And your girlfriend rather, Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
We do say her name on the show, right?
Yes.
Hannah did a great job as Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
And she looked like she was having fun. So.
She was, yeah. We didn't even go anywhere to do that costume. It was just like we did it just for the internet, which is like I don't know if that's better or worse, but yeah, we did our costume to hand out trick or treat candy. Only one person guessed it right.
Wait, can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're a troll.
Yes, but specifically, what kind of troll?
I didn't know there was more than one.
Battle troll.
Whoa.
Okay, there was like these muscular, sick battle trolls from the early 90s, like almost kind of like I would compare them to like a garbage pail type troll figure. Some of them were like really disgusting looking, but they were like all jacked and ripped. So I was a battle troll. I utilized my Giant Gonzalez costume for the 6th time in a week and did a different costume. I was doing many different costumes. My job, making people uncomfortable as a hairy, naked man. They didn't know who Giant Gonzalez was. But yeah, I was a battle troll.
I don't really think you were a very accurate battle troll because all these pictures that I'm saying, they don't have the little gem in the belly button, which you did have.
Well, I added the gem because some people might not know. I did like the original battle troll, the original trolls with the gem.
Okay.
So
you were just doing fan fiction.
You know what, man? I made it work. Okay.
No, it was a very great battle troll. It looked great.
I don't know why you had to say it like battle troll. Yeah.
I thought that was like a good emphasis to make it sound like that was really cool.
Hannah was a sky dancer. I was gonna say a skyscraper, but she looks nothing like Dan Spivey, so I don't know why I would say that. And though I might be more attracted to her if she looked more like Dan Spivey. I don't know. Not that she's not attractive. I'm really burying myself here.
Yeah, she just no Dan Spivey.
Paige, her dog, was a Beanie Baby. But then, of course, the real hit on the internet was Lynn McMahon and Trish. It was so niche. Mm-hmm. That's what makes these random, obscure wrestling Halloween costumes of mine very good. Yeah. It's just very specific from WrestleMania 17, right. Lynn McMahon in a wheelchair, which, by the way, that event's known for Rock and Austin main event. But the biggest pop of the night went to Lynn McMahon when she stood up out of that wheelchair.
That's true. It was a miracle.
It was. Well, actually, she was just no longer being drugged. It's amazing what happens when you just stop taking medication.
Wow, you could walk.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
What would happen if you stopped taking medication, you think?
I don't take any medication. So.
Well, then nothing, I guess. But I thought Hannah looked great in her what is it called? Sky Flyer?
Sky Dancer.
I have a scar on my head because of one of those toys.
Really?
Yeah, when I was a kid, we were being babysat,
Okay.
and the lady who was babysitting us had a daughter, and she had that toy, and my brother was playing with it, and I was sitting on the couch, and there was like a shelf above my head. It flew and knocked a vase off the shelf, smashed me in the head, and busted me open.
Wow.
Yeah,
So did you get color?
I did. I had to get stitches. When I seen your girlfriend, I had PTSD.
Oh,
So
boy.
hopefully, if I, she isn't flying into shelves, knocking vases into my head.
No.
You don't think she would do that?
No, she was fine. She was fine. But you know what? I'll end it with this. She was a really attractive blonde, which I didn't know if blonde would suit her. And then it was weird at work because then like other people at my job were being like, "Who's that hot blonde that you're taking pictures with? Is Trish Stratus?" I'm like, that was still my girlfriend. They're like, that was her? So I didn't know how to take that. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna let this go.
There's a weird. I think men objectify blonde women the most, they're like, you know what? I'm not gonna objectify that woman. She looks smart,
Yeah.
capable. But then when she becomes blonde, they're like, well,
Yeah.
she's
like,
an object for my
well,
sexual.
Can I take advantage of this
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Because she's blonde?
Right.
You know what they say about blondes?
Right. But you're blonde,
That's true.
and nobody ever sexualizes you.
Many men do.
You know what? That's a good point.
Not one woman sexualizes me. Not even my girlfriend. Literally just men on the internet. So I'm not sure what that says about me.
No, I don't. Well, what? So how often does this happen? When's the last time you got any weird messages or anything?
I mean, like, at least weekly.
It's weekly.
Yeah, for sure. Like about weird sock fetishes or nice pic champ on
Dude,
my photos.
is this in
at 3
messages?
a.m. Sometimes, dude.
You have any? You should read them off.
Listen. I should probably make a whole segment about it because it's weird as fuck. But you know what? Literally, there are still guys who. Do you remember the poke feature on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
It's still a thing. You know how I know?
Really?
Because guys poke me on Facebook.
Why do you think they do that?
Because they want me to be like, oh, this guy's sending me a poke. Maybe we can, have intercourse.
Yeah,
like,
maybe
what?
Maybe he could poke me in real life.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you to say it so that I can clip it and use it as a drop.
I'm not going to say it.
Then anytime when I cut away from your face, I'm going to play it so it sounds like you're saying it off screen.
I'm not going to say anything about, me wanting guys to poke me. I don't want guys to poke me.
You don't what?
I don't want guys to poke me.
What do you want them to do to you then?
I do not want guys to poke me. At any point. In any opening of my body. Ever. So try to clip that into something that is really sexual and perverted.
Seems hard to do.
Yeah.
We'll see what we come up with.
I'll show you hard. Hey, but speaking of the internet, you can get exclusive and extended content over on patreon.com/IronWrestling. We're doing more video stuff over there, so check it out. We actually dropped it. It's public now for everybody, but we dropped it a week early for everybody else. We discovered a missing 1984 Hulk Hogan TV show pilot. It's now free on YouTube if you subscribe to the channel, but you could have seen it early. And sometime in the near future, I'm actually going to be reviewing this Hulk Hogan pilot. So if you don't want to spend the 45 minutes watching it, I'm going to clip something together in the near future. You can watch that instead. So patreon.com/IronWrestling for early videos. And also I'm going to be doing a thing where if you're in the $9 tier where you get involved in helping choose subjects, but also getting involved in the Zoom chat that we do once a month where we talk about stuff that we will never, ever, ever talk about on the regular podcast. You will get your name in the credits of the YouTube videos that I create. What? Credits? Yeah, that's going to happen. That's a thing that's going to happen in the future. You can also receive things in the mail, $25 and up from George. Not George, because he's a fake. You want to get stuff from the real deal. Howard Animal Steel, $29. You can be involved in the Zoom chat podcast that we do extra on Patreon. You can go up and up and up in the tiers, and you can even be in studio with me yourself. Wow, 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 what a deal. Be on the lookout for the package we're going to be sending in December around Christmas, the quarterly package that we send out. So if you want to get in on the action, you got to subscribe, patreon.com/IronWrestling. And if you don't want to pay, that's okay. But we encourage you to start moving over to Patreon because come December, if you're listening to this on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you download podcasts. We will no longer be on these platforms. We're going exclusively to Patreon for the audio podcast. If you would like, you could subscribe and pay extra for other things, but if you want to get the free audio that you know and love, you can get it exclusively on patreon.com/irononwrestling. And yeah, I think it's a head of the curve thing we're doing here. Is that a thing that I could say, a head of the curve thing?
I think it might. Is it ahead of the curve or ahead of the curve?
Curve.
No,
curve.
maybe a curve. Because isn't like we're ahead of the curve. Let's just say it. We're ahead of the curve.
We already said it. It's fine.
All right, we'll edit this part out.
Okay, that's fine. Well, you won't. I know you won't.
What?
Yeah, look at that smile.
I was smiling because Bronson Reed's coming out.
That's okay. Well, Raw's on in the background, but anything else we want to talk about before we talk about wrestlers turned actors? Anything?
What about Ric Flair?
Woo Energy?
Yeah.
It's the official drink of
Iron on Wrestling.
No, we did do a video about it over on the YouTube, me and Eddie only, which you can watch. It's about 20 minutes in length. We reviewed a variety of wrestling energy drinks, but who knew that when we did that video 2 months ago, that would be sitting in a moment of time where Ric Flair Energy, that I thought would already be gone and off the market, is going to be the official drink of All Elite Wrestling. How do you feel about it? Back in the company, but be serving his mushroom blend energy drink to a number of people in the general public?
No, I don't like it. I've said a couple times on here that AEW is my favorite promotion, and it's getting harder and harder to like AEW from where I sit. Okay, because they used to have the moral high ground.
Yeah,
and that was a part of what I liked about them. It's not I didn't say these words originally, but people say they're the babyface promotion, right? And now I feel like it's getting harder and harder to like them, and the wrestlers I like them, but just like the company, and the hypocrisy of, making a point about Vince McMahon's sexual allegations, and then hiring Ric Flair, who's probably a rapist.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think Tony Khan has good intentions, but maybe he's spreading himself a little too thin, because it doesn't seem like he's giving any creative control to literally anybody else. And, that's got to wear on someone. Speaking to someone who's done a very low level podcast for 4 years, to do pretty much everything on the show myself has become a lot, which is why, Sean, I brought you aboard, and it makes life a little easier for me. So that being said, I can't imagine running a multi-million-dollar company, a couple multi-million-dollar companies. I mean, obviously he helps out his dad with the football stuff and everything. It's just like, when do you get a break? When do you say enough is enough, and maybe I should let this person do this over here to sort of take a little bit of the weight off of me.
Right.
I don't know. It's a lot. But that being said,
especially because it just keeps becoming more and more. I mean, it was a lot when it was just Dynamite every week. Now it's Dynamite, Rampage, Collision. I don't know, all sorts of crap, man. Pay-per-view almost every month now.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, I think there's way too much wrestling content out there now, especially since, in the era of streaming and YouTube, it's like you can watch any wrestling thing at any given moment. It's how can you possibly watch everything that's out there? But I don't know. I just think that back to the subject at hand, though, the Ric Flair thing. It's like, I guess until there's a big backlash.
Well, there's kind of. I don't know if it was a big backlash, but there's a backlash.
But here's the thing. Where is that backlash other than
on the internet?
Twitter?
Yeah.
No, not even the internet. Show me a story where people are instantly like, well, Ric Flair, you got hired, but he did this. Outside of Twitter, are people complaining about it?
Well, no, maybe not. Maybe on other social media, I'm sure, Instagram and crap like that.
So that's the thing though. Outside of the wrestling bubble, do these things?
No, because I don't think people are really that aware of it. Besides people in the wrestling bubble,
is it not being aware, or do the people that are in the bubble with nothing better to do, and I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, do they magnify this and or, you know, with sort of the cancel culture mentality, do they just want to see someone be brought down? And listen, I'm not going to say that I'm for or against Ric Flair being hired. What I am saying is, though, like, I'll give you an example. In the general public, interacting with people that are just casual wrestling fans, or maybe haven't kept up to date with the happenings, and or have heard about this and we're just like, yeah, you know, shit happens. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't want this to seem biased because I'm a huge fan, but Hulk Hogan, okay? Obviously, he said some fucked up shit over the years. One of those things being the racist rant that he went on that was recorded, okay?
Yeah,
nothing.
But I think that there's it's bad enough to go on a racist rant, okay? But you're also going on a racist rant and using slurs. I think that is worse.
For sure. Now, that being said, over the years since that's happened, I've had multiple African American gentlemen come up to me, talk about how their favorite wrestler, unprompted, just knowing that I like wrestling, is Hulk Hogan. I've had multiple African American gentlemen who has known about the racist stuff that he said. So like, well, you know, whatever, like shit happens, blah blah blah. I've even had discussions with these people where it's like, well, I don't know if he like exactly apologized for saying the stuff as much as he just apologized for, or he was sorry that he got caught. And even that, it was just like it was like this indifference where it was just like, well, he's like Hulk Hogan, right? And like, again, I'm not justifying this shit, but it's like, do we make a bigger deal about it because we're more aware of what's happening because we're wrestling fans, or is it just like, I don't know. I mean, this is like a legitimate thing, like, because sometimes I feel like we get lost in the sauce and we're like in this bubble where, like, you know, like every day of my life, even though I feel like I've spread myself a little, I'm more culturally aware of things that are happening outside of wrestling than I used to be over the past few years. Every day I'm looking at wrestling news sites, I'm listening to wrestling podcasts, so it's like it's constantly in my mind. So like, am I more aware of like Ric Flair like maybe not being the best person outside of wrestling? Sure. But is the general public looking at this?
No way.
And our websites covering this perhaps the way they should be? Like the Dark Side of the Ring thing got a lot of momentum, and Ric Flair was sort of donezo for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then everything just went back to normal.
Do you remember the Mick Foley quote of wrestling is the bastard child of entertainment?
Yeah.
I feel like this Ric Flair thing is an example of when it works in the benefit of a wrestler, because I think these news that are not, non-wrestling sites and anybody who's covering this that isn't a wrestling website or wrestling dirt sheet or anything like that is, they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So they don't care about what goes on in wrestling. It's a world that they don't care about. It's the bastard child of entertainment. So they're like, it's not on their radar, then they don't care.
Yeah.
But because I do feel like I get what you're saying about Hogan and like, these African Americans that, are aware that he said this stuff and all that. But it doesn't make it all right.
It doesn't.
I'm not saying that you are saying that.
Nah.
But the same thing with Ric Flair. I mean, I definitely look at him differently now, and I can't not look at him that way anymore. I just can't do it.
It's just like I always want to question like what's the threshold, or does it vary based on the person and situation, like where we separate the art from the artist? Like where does that stop being a thing that we do, right? Like it's like, I mean, like why is it that at certain points in life, and perhaps maybe it's like because we change as a society and we go like, you know what, that was pretty fucked up, why did we let that go for so long? Like R. Kelly is a perfect example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we loved, can I say we love, because like listen, I still want to listen to it and like fucking think it's a good song. I Believe I Can Fly, Space Jam, like that's part of my childhood, right? Sure. Like, but at the same time, while that's part of my childhood, R. Kelly is going out abusing children.
Yes.
And like multiple women, like holding them captive, like fucking pissing on them,
Okay.
and we're fucking laughing at it, right? Like,
Well, let me ask you this: say we separate the art from the artist with Ric Flair, okay?
yeah,
Can he wrestle right now?
no.
Can he cut a good promo right now?
You know, he hasn't cut a good promo in a long time.
What worth does he have then?
He did say in most recent interviews that he's ready to go through a table. He said he's medically cleared to
I
bump
know.
around.
I know, but you know what? He's not bringing anything to the. And you know, I mean, are there going to be new? I mean, is there new fans that are going to start watching AEW that didn't watch before because Ric Flair's there? What positive is coming from this?
Well, I mean, listen, I don't
Besides
argue
that, the wrestlers get free energy drinks now.
here's the, well, yeah, and it's not a good energy
No,
drink,
it's not.
Okay, spoiler. Go watch the review.
Don't buy them.
I'm sure that the shows too, they're charging them like $10 a pop at the concession stands.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it would be cheaper than that. But
Nobody
yeah,
wants to drink carbonated mushroom juice.
at the end of the day, the Ric Flair thing is a short-term ratings boost, and I don't even know how much of a ratings boost that was.
No,
but
because it wasn't announced, which I, you know, as a wrestling fan, I appreciate because I like a surprise.
yeah,
And I was surprised.
Sure.
I was kind of like, because I remember when the Dark Side of the Ring episode aired, and I remember the rumors that like Ric Flair was gonna come to AEW and all this.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen, and
Sure.
I remember thinking, you know what? I bet you it's gonna happen in a fucking year, when people aren't talking about it anymore, and then I'm gonna be very upset about it. And
Yeah.
exactly what happened. 'Cause
Yeah.
I am upset.
I don't know. It's just I don't know, man.
I feel like when Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff showed up in TNA, like as a fan of TNA and as a person who was watching it live when that happened, I remember thinking, this isn't going to be my TNA anymore. I feel that way with AEW now. I feel like it's like this isn't going to be I mean, it hasn't been for a while, but I've been under the illusion that it has.
Yeah.
Because I loved it so much when it was my AEW.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I heard them talking about it on What Culture, and they were saying that like all the things that you wanted in AEW are something that you have to kind of realize a company can't give you.
Sure.
And now that I've had that idea in my head, I fully agree with it.
Well, and here's my thing. Like, I think when Hogan and Bischoff, we're getting really off topic, but this is a good conversation. When Hogan and Bischoff came into TNA, instead of adding to what TNA already was, they changed everything that the diehards loved.
Mm-hmm.
The people that had stuck with TNA, even though they hadn't grown to the level of WWE, they changed everything that the people that have stuck with them since the beginning loved. And I think they lost a lot of people, which is why, you know, for years, until they became Impact and really started to change what they were doing and like getting incredible indie talent and making them stars to an extent with the reach that they have.
Yes.
You know, you lost a lot of people, and you created this TNA stink that it's like it was hard to air that out and make it go away. Now I feel like they finally did that. Now they're going back to TNA, but is it the most marketable name? We could have a whole discussion about that. But I feel like that's the same thing with AEW. Here comes this new promotion, new kids on the block, the alternative to WWE. They have the leg up because they're different.
Yeah.
The stories in WWE had been sucking.
Right.
But then
when AEW came along.
Yes, and so then, but then here's what happened. Vince lost power. Hunter has created logical storytelling, long-term storytelling, still problems, but better storytelling than we had before. So now, it kind of brought AEW down a level, but also at the same time, they're trying to be something that the AEW fans that came from the beginning, who were like, oh, this is the alternative. Now you're giving them Ric Flair, and you're giving them all these WWE cast-off. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's
because Paul White's having a match. Did you see that?
Yes, not a full-time thing. He's having a match, but like
I'm not like that bummed out about because it's but I can understand people not being thrilled about it.
So it's one of those things where it's like, this isn't. The problem is, like, you need to have these guys fit into what AEW was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Instead of adapting AEW for these old-timers that, in the long run, aren't going to do anything, they need to adapt to what AEW was and could still be.
Take Jon Moxley, right?
Yeah.
He's given a lot of really, really, really great in-ring promos in AEW.
Sure.
How long has it been since he's done one of those? Because they used to have wrestlers doing amazing promos left and right. And now they barely have promos, and if they do, it's usually not in the ring.
Yeah.
And most of the time, they're just doing skits now. It's like they are turning into the bad WWE that needed an alternative in the first place.
TNA. Bad
Yeah,
TNA.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's almost like I'm not going to say WCW 2000, but when Vince Russo came into WCW, he tried to make it WWF light.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest downfall of WCW. It was going to go out of business no matter what because of the merger with AOL and Time Warner.
Yeah.
But I think that helped it rapidly decline when they tried to become like WCW was everything that WWF wasn't. Cruiserweights and realism and just expect the unexpected.
Right.
And then Vince Russo comes in like he was the savior of the Attitude Era or something, or the creator of the Attitude Era. He comes to WCW, tries to do the same thing, and everything went in the shitter.
Yeah.
Nothing made any sense. Everything changed from week to week. It was like all these insider terms, and it helped kill the company a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just like, I think if you're going to be the alternative, you can bring guys into the fold that have made their name in WWE. Like I think Christian's doing his best work, I think Christian should be in a great position. I think the Edge stuff is going to be amazing. Adam Copeland, whatever you want to call him. I'm hoping they do Sting good with his finish. You know what I mean? Like however he's going to go out.
Definitely better than what happened in the WWE.
I think he hasn't had one singles match in AEW. If they did something to where they could build to an Adam Copeland versus Sting, I think that's probably the best marquee match you could do with Sting. Someone who I think would legitimately, as a fan, love to be in there with Sting.
Right, and because like a lot of people say Darby versus, but what storyline wise, why would he want to be like, I want to fight you, Sting?
Yeah. I mean, I
want to defeat you. I want you to lose your last match.
Yes, I don't know, man. Like I just think like, I don't know. They got to keep being what people loved in the beginning.
I think a part of it is that the honeymoon phase for AEW lasted a long time because of COVID, I think.
Yeah.
And because I think the AEW during COVID was the best AEW that existed.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad during that.
And I think that part of the appeal of AEW was that all the wrestlers, at least from the perspective of the fans, because it's not like I really know, but it's, from what we could tell, everybody got along, everybody was friends, everybody loved being there, nobody felt like they weren't getting the shot that they deserved. Like, it was all the stuff that made you go, man, like, when you watch WWE and you're like, poor Dolph Ziggler, I love this guy, but they just don't do anything with him.
Sure.
You didn't have that. And then when CM Punk came, that, like, the stuff that happened with him in the Elite kind of broke that illusion where now you're like, oh, I guess everybody doesn't like each other really back there.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks because that's one of the things that I liked about it is that I thought everybody working here was happy.
Sure.
And now I know they're not, and that sucks.
Well, I think it's just, I don't know, differing opinions about what works and what doesn't work in wrestling, and I think that's a whole other discussion. You know what I mean? Because like you go back in time, Punk used to tweet about the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks used to tweet about Punk before he got in the company, and then I don't know.
They're straight edge. I always assume all straight edge wrestlers liked CM Punk and like became straight edge, but probably were like, oh, I don't have to do that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Punk was a big influence in me in that regard. He was the first guy that I ever saw. I obviously, M-Dog and Josh, I find out that they're straight edge, but like in a mainstream level, to see Punk on WWE television being like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and like it just made it. This is 2006 when he gets there. I obviously knew about him in Ring of Honor, but seeing someone on such a big stage like that during a time where I'm really trying to, I don't want to drink or smoke. It's something I tried and didn't like, but I feel like everyone that I see on TV, it's like, oh, you got to drink or smoke. It's like progression of adulthood. You got to do one or the other or both.
And nowadays, nobody would judge you from that.
Sure.
Like when we were teenagers, people would be like, "You don't want to drink, you fucking loser."
Yeah.
Now they're like, oh, "Okay, cool, that's cool." And no, like I feel like back then, if you were to say that you didn't drink, people would be like, "Oh, that guy is a recovering alcoholic."
yeah. Well, I still feel like there's like some sort of stigma about that, especially like because I don't really walk around saying straight edge because again.
Sure,
like if I have to put a label on it, I guess that's what I would go with. But like I do feel like you have to be really into like Minor Threat and stuff like that, which I'm not.
No,
I'm just not. That's not like
They're the worst punk band, man.
I'm not into punk music like that.
No. Also, they have a song where they're like, I liked them at one point, and they have a song where they're like, basically like, black people, nothing bad's happening to you guys. Why don't you just stop crying about it already? That's essentially the mood of the song. And I was like, this is not punk rock.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and it's from like 1980.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
But, like, I feel like when people meet me as a 37-year-old man, they find out that, like, I don't drink and smoke without putting any reason behind it. They're like, boy, wonder when he went to AA and changed his life for the better. He probably gets up and makes his bed every morning, know.
With one hand.
With one hand, very inspiring,
right.
Yeah, wow. We're just really rambling here, but I think this is a good discussion. So I don't know, what does AEW have to do to make a change for the better? Is Ric Flair being around a positive thing? Do you like Ric Flair energy? Do you like WWE? Do you like Hunter? Do you like Vince? I don't know.
Do you like C4 energy?
Leave some comments below. I'd like to see 4 of your comments below.
4 comments for each word that we spoke on this video.
4 skin horsemen. I have to say it because Aaron's not here.
True, it's in his spirit.
4 skin horsemen. Yeah, we'll miss you. Miss you, my friend. We have to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have some sort of discussion about the best wrestlers turn actors and perhaps some of their good and bad films when we come back.
Sir, hello. Dude, they work out okay.
What are you doing? Why are you acting like Razor Ramon with his bad form in the Ico Pro commercial?
You talking to me, man? Carve you up.
Talk like a normal person.
Oh, I'm here because I'm working out. Oh, from TNT Health, baby. Have you tried it?
We know that Aaron's tried it. In fact, since the start of the year, Aaron's lost over 50 pounds while using supplements from TNT-Health.com. TNT Health is focused on your overall comprehensive health. They help track your eating, your workouts, and your supplements. TNT Health sells results. I use the creatine, the glutamine, and you think that I'm not using the protein powder? With 154 calories and 25 grams of protein per scoop, I assure you, the vanilla protein powder is great with or without water.
That's how you take your protein. Don't you... Water, dude.
Maybe Aaron's right. Use it with water or milk. Go to TNT-Health.com right now, buy any of their great products and save 10% off with our promo code IRONON.
TNT Health.
Your health today,
not tomorrow.
Hey Aaron, why are you wearing this shirt?
I went through my closet and I could not find one really good shirt with a good shirt design. But if I had a shirt that I could pick any shirt in the whole world that I would wear a shirt that had maybe this band, Metallica, but I want the drummer and the bass player on a cloud in heaven because their granddaddy passed away.
Okay.
And then on this cloud, there's a second cloud. And it's James Hetfield and Matt Justice. And they have fishing poles. They've been fishing. I would have to find someone that could design that kind of a shirt.
If you do need a better t-shirt design, you should probably contact Juan Ortiz and Up the Dead Designs. He's a good buddy. He's been in the industry for over 15 years, and he's made some t-shirt designs for the most prolific people within professional wrestling.
Ellsworth?
No, I've not made a design for James Ellsworth. But he has made designs for Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Seth Rollins, Undertaker. He's even made shirts and stuff for Iron Wrestling. Check out this sweet logo. Hey, Sean, edit in that picture of our new logo with Aaron and myself on clouds with fishing poles. If you need a t-shirt design, a logo for your small business or your big business, or if you want to win over a girl, I've never done that before. If you mention Iron on Wrestling sent you, and you follow his new social media at Of the Dead Designs on Instagram, he's gonna knock off $20 in his already cheap prices. Go to Of the Dead Designs on Instagram.
Weebly.
Go to his Facebook at facebook.com/Of the Dead Designs, or go to his website ofthedead.weebly.com, because Of the Dead Designs is bringing your artwork to life. And we are back, and we are going to talk about pro wrestlers who decided that perhaps maybe they should go to Hollywood, don't know why I said it like that, and become an actor or an actress.
Yep.
We're going to talk about the best, the worst, the ones that are somewhere in between. What do we got? What are we looking at? We brought this up because Chris Jericho had his own ranking system.
Yeah, Jericho, Chris Jericho, that is.
Yes, Y2J.
Yes. He ranked the top. Well, he only did 4 for some reason.
Okay, he couldn't think of more than 4 actors.
Right. He also acts, so you'd think he would have maybe made 5. But
Well, you can't name yourself.
why not?
Just egotistical.
You don't think Hulk Hogan does?
No, I don't. And you know what? He doesn't call himself the best of all time. He always says it's Ric Flair.
Okay, that's fair. Well, Jericho's ranking was Batista as number 1, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as number 2,
Okay.
John Cena as number 3, and Hulk Hogan as number 4.
What? You
That's
put
right.
Hogan at 4?
Yes, I feel like he probably didn't think of anybody else.
Because I feel like I would put Piper.
Right.
Like if you were gonna do 4,
Uh-huh.
Hogan would not make the cut.
Because it's not like Piper was only in They Live. He was in other stuff.
Yes, but I feel like just in the level of quality of They Live Alone, should, if you're going to make a top 4, I think Piper, unless I could think of someone else, Piper's definitely going ahead of Hogan.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, again, I have a soft spot for the Hulkster and some of his films. Suburban Commando, one of my all-time favorite films. I think it's better than No Holds Barred. A lot of people just point to No Holds Barred and go, "Oh, hilarious, great Hulk Hogan movie," like for the wrong reasons. But Suburban Commando is the correct answer.
Yeah.
But Piper, he's got They Live and Hell Comes to Frogtown, not a bad movie. He had a bunch of B action movies, not great necessarily,
Sure.
but I feel like Piper had a little bit of range.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Batista gets ranked as number 1 by most people, which I'm not going to disagree with that, because Batista has shown that he can be more than just your stereotypical bulky action hero.
Yes.
The Rock, you've seen that meme where he's just like, there's 4 different pictures of him in the jungle, but it's
Yeah,
4 different
right.
movies.
Yes.
I feel like Rock is great, but like you're going to get The Rock in every Rock movie. It's kind of like Will Ferrell. There's not many movies with Will Ferrell where he's not some character name, but he's Will Ferrell.
Sure. Did you ever see the Lifetime movie of Will Ferrell?
I did not.
I'm spending day and night trying to find this puppy to watch because I want to watch it so bad.
Is it that hard to find?
It is for me. I mean, I could download it, but I don't do that stuff. You know what I mean? I go on. I look for it on streaming, and it's not available.
So you could probably just find it someone real quick where you want to you just pay for it, but you're trying to avoid
No, you
that.
can't do that. I mean, not on like the Fire Stick or Roku or anything. It's not on like Vudu or anything.
What's the name of the movie?
I don't remember.
Because I guarantee you, if I Google it, it'll say how to watch, and then it'll tell me some way that I can
I'm
pay
sure if
for
you
it.
type in Will Ferrell Lifetime movie, you'll find it.
Will Ferrell. Was it actually on Lifetime?
Yes.
You don't think it might be on the Lifetime app?
Listen. Do you think I'm an idiot?
I mean,
I checked. I downloaded the app and I thought, here we go. This is obviously the way, and it wasn't on there.
streaming. Watch A Deadly Adoption.
That's right.
First thing that it's called A Deadly Adoption,
Yeah.
and first thing comes up is a link to the Lifetime
Click it.
website.
Just click it.
I'm clicking it. Click it or ticket.
Maybe you should make a PSA for that.
I think they already did that.
Well, not one with you.
Having a hard time having my... We've been having Wi-Fi issues lately.
Gross.
Sorry. What? Why is that gross? I don't...
Well, we live in the 21st century.
TV Guide says where to watch and stream A Deadly Adoption. 2 hours and 2 minutes. 2015. What's the synopsis here? The successful couple... Kristen Wiig is also in this?
Yes.
House and care for a pregnant woman in the hopes of adopting her unborn child, but things quickly go awry. You can watch it on Pluto for free.
Nope. It's lying. I downloaded Pluto to watch it as well.
Or Tubi.
I downloaded Tubi to watch it as well.
Okay.
Then my friend downloaded it for me, put it on a USB, and then for reasons that I don't know, he also put the Barbie movie and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Well, I've already seen that movie in theaters, and I don't really... I'll watch the Barbie movie whenever, sooner or later. But the movie I wanted most was A Deadly Adoption, and it was the only one that did not work.
Okay, well, it's not the whole movie, but there's definitely 1 hour and 23 minutes of it on YouTube for free.
I want to watch the whole movie. That's how I like to watch my movies.
You don't want to watch like 3/4 of it?
No, man.
All right,
I'm one of those kind of people that when I watch a movie, I like to do the full one.
To each his own, I guess. Just fucking idiot.
Yeah, I know it's a little odd.
All right, so I definitely would say Batista is probably number one. So Jericho's probably right.
I agree with you and with Chris Jericho on that one.
Number two, I probably would say The Rock. I feel like in a lot of ways, The Rock is like our modern day Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I think he's like a good combo of like Sly and Arnie.
Have you ever heard of comedian Ron Funches?
Yes. I've done some shows with Ron.
He said that The Rock is Beyonce for boys. Would you agree?
I'm not sure what that means.
Well,
is he like bootylicious?
I don't know.
I won't argue that.
I think it's more of like a people looking up to him kind of a thing. You know?
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Beyonce gal, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Big Beyonce gal.
Well,
okay. I would say Batista, Rock. Who was number 3?
of Jericho's list,
Yeah.
John Cena. Well, no, The Rock was number 3.
I mean, listen.
The Rock was number 2, and Cena was number 3, and Hogan was number 4.
I mean, just for Peacemaker, John Cena should be, I think, in discussion of top 4.
No doubt. I mean, just for the intro to the show,
Yes.
I would agree.
But also for The Marine, probably the greatest WWE film of all time. I think that's something I've thought about in my mind that I wanted to do for YouTube, is starting reviewing every WWE film ever made. And I feel like that's just scary.
It's very scary, but you know what? I don't think anybody's done it, and when you start doing it, then they'll start doing it.
I'm sure they will, and I will get like 10 views, and they'll get like 10 million.
Right.
So
And they're just some jabron, and you're an actual wrestler.
The Rock, John Cena, Batista, they're definitely in there. Piper, I guess, off the top of my head, but Hogan, oh God, he's had some stinkers for sure.
Sure. What about The Big Show?
Knucklehead, not a great film.
Jingle All the Way, wasn't he in that?
Yes, a bit part. Jingle All the Way, probably the greatest Christmas film of all time.
Yes.
So not quite a Santa with muscles, Hulk Hogan film, but Jingle All the Way. His appearance in Waterboy, that being as Captain Insano.
He has an incredibly sexy scene in MacGruber. I mean, if you don't want to get hard, don't watch that movie. That Big Show scene is gonna get you thick.
MacGruber, not a good film.
No, the movie's not good, but that scene gets you rubbing your palms together.
That's not true. One guy that I was surprised didn't transition into a great actor was Kurt Angle, because I feel like Kurt Angle was one of those guys that as a promo could really do anything.
Yeah.
And then as an actor, yikes. One of the first films that I would like to review, if I review wrestling films on this podcast, which, as I mentioned, I will be reviewing not a film but the TV show pilot that Hulk Hogan was in from 1984, Goldie and the Bears. There's not a gay theme involved with this, unfortunately. Kurt Angle did a film called Endgame back in like 2013
Oh yeah, dude. The
or
Avengers
something.
Endgame.
No. Just called Endgame.
Oh.
And he basically plays a master of disguise, and in like one of the first scenes, like, you know, sexually assaults a woman. It is weird. It's a weird film.
He's the hero of the movie?
No, he's not.
Okay.
You'll have to see the film. I'll just review it so you don't have to see it.
I appreciate that.
But it's like at one point in the movie, he's like the bad guy, and he's wearing like a TNA Bound for Glory shirt. I'm thinking to myself, like, is he playing a character or is he Kurt Angle?
Wasn't he in the movie Warrior? Have you ever seen that?
He was. I've never seen Warrior, but I've heard it's gotten rave reviews.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I haven't watched it in years, but I do remember him being... And he was decent in it. I think he was like a Russian character.
Yes, he was. He claims that he lost a lot of weight for that role.
Oh, that's why he did that, huh?
Yeah. So that's what he said.
Yeah,
We're going to go on Kurt's word.
Yeah, we don't have a Kurt Angle lie of the week, so we can believe him.
He's also in a film that's really terrible called... Hold on, let me search it here. Kurt Angle. I know The Darkness is in it.
In the name?
Yeah, River of Darkness.
Okay.
He's not the only wrestler in this film. He plays a cop, but Sid Vicious and Kevin Nash play zombies in the film.
Is there another wrestling zombie movie?
Yeah, it's called Wrestlers vs. Zombies.
Okay, that one's... I don't know how I forgot the name of that one.
Yeah, Roddy Piper stars in it. It was filmed in Pittsburgh. River of Darkness, though, is a 2011 American horror film. Features Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, and Sid Udy, as well as Ray Lloyd, which is that's Glacier in a minor role. It's 84 minutes, and it's 84 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Basically, the plot is, give it to you here, when unspeakable evil falls on a quiet river town, Sheriff Logan, Kurt Angle, is thrust into a chilling nightmare of death and mayhem. He is confronted with a series of horrific murders, each more vicious than the last, and soon learns of the community's seedy past and the evil that has risen from purgatory to exact revenge on the town. Whew.
Wow.
Of all
and that didn't win the Oscar.
It did not. There's also...
You were going to say something. What were you going to say? Of all
the movies that you could see with wrestlers, that is certainly one of them. I need to watch the whole Marine franchise at some point. Miz, not a bad actor. I just feel like he's sort of been pigeonholed in this Marine role.
Mm-hmm.
He did do a Christmas movie at one point that was okay, but it was sort of like a Lifetime type film.
Yeah.
You know, not great.
What about Triple H?
You know, if you don't like The Chauffeur, I don't know what's wrong with you.
The Chaperone?
That's it. That's how much I liked it. So
I was like, wait, he can't be in a movie called The Chauffeur 2. I think you're talking about. Well, also he was in Blade Trinity. He had like metal fangs.
He did. Ryan Reynolds' beard in that movie, great.
Jeff's Kiss.
Great
Jeff
beard.
Farmer.
Great beard. Yes. Trying to look at. There's some other movies coming up here. I'm trying to. Batista has really come into his own.
Yeah.
Okay. But everybody has to start somewhere. The first film that Batista was ever in was a picture called Wrong Side of Town. Now, what's interesting about this is he gets lead billing in this film, but Rob Van Dam is actually the star. Okay? So RVD is also on the cover, but in the background, but he's definitely the lead guy. Batista has very minimal lines and scenes. This movie features RVD, Batista, and are you ready for this? Ja Rule. Okay? And it is not a good film.
What's his name? Is Steven Seagal in it?
No, but Steve Austin has been in several films. Steve, not a bad actor, but he basically plays Steve Austin in many of his roles. Yes, The Condemned is a great film. I do really feel like it's a great take on it's basically The Running Man in a lot of ways, which is a film that I love. I think The Condemned is kind of underrated.
It is. I agree.
But one thing, if I ever have Steve back on the show, because we do have an interview with him in the archives on YouTube that I did with him in person when we were filming a documentary in LA. Steve Austin did a film with Steven Seagal. And everybody asks Austin, like, your typical questions, like, Austin 316, what was that moment like? WrestleMania 17. No one asks him about what a fucking weirdo Steven Seagal is. And I want to ask Steve Austin how weird it was acting and starring in a film with Steven Seagal.
Have you ever seen Steven Seagal's Cop Show?
No, I've watched a lot of Steven Seagal stuff about what a liar he is and all that, but never watched his Cop Show.
Do you know of it?
No.
It's like a reality show where he's basically on a ride along with the police of, like, I think New Orleans, and he uses like a black scent the entire time, but like he constantly it's very bizarre because he's like involved in the arrest. So there will be a person who's being like arrested, and they're like, "Man, fuck you." Wait a minute.
Are you Steven Seagal?
Is that Steven Seagal?
Yeah. You know, Steven Seagal has a music album?
No.
Yeah, it came out like 2004. Please look it up. We're not going to play it because we're not going to get stricken by YouTube for it.
He will find us and he will
but
harm us.
There is a song that when I discovered it a few months back, I kept playing it loud and on repeat to annoy my brother, where it's like a reggae song. So it's got like a reggae beat to it, and there's a woman in it, and he sings in a reggae accent.
Of course.
And like one of the first lines in the song, well, let me actually pull it up here. Steven Seagal song. When I see the song title, I believe it's called Strut. Hold on. Is this the one? Lyrics? Okay. First of all, the Jamaican lady says, Mr. Steven Seagal flying about Jamaica singing with the baddest gal.
Oh boy.
You see me saw? Steven Seagal in Jamaican accent says, go what you really want all night. Me want the punani and make me feel nice. Boy, tell me what you really want all night. Me want the punani. See for me, make it nice. Make me want the body. Him want the punani. That's just the beginning of it. When the girls start to strut, you could look at their butt. You shouldn't do that. The gal dressed is just as pretty, not just there to cover her kitty. Again, he's singing this in a Jamaican accent.
This might be the best song ever made.
It's worth seeking out. Strut by Steven Seagal. And again, this wasn't like made in like the 90s when like he's like hitting his stride with like Under Siege or Under Siege 2, Dark Territory. This is like 2004. So
I'm looking it up right now for later.
Yeah, so just make sure you check that one out. Austin, I think, had some good potential in films. I think he could have done more of them. But again, a lot of his stuff became like direct-to-DVD. And honestly, like WWE tried to push him as like one of their centerpiece actors. Like other than The Condemned, I think they wanted him to do Marine, but he didn't want to do it. That's how Cena got the role. There's a lot of bad actors turned actors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that created a perception of like, well, you know, these guys are just lugheads.
Maybe that's why Batista seems so good.
Yeah.
Because he sort of breaks the mold. Because like the first thing where he was in that I actually liked him in was Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. And I only liked him because I viewed him as a big muscle idiot.
Sure. I think Batista's even said it himself, like that was like his last shot. Like basically he wanted to land this role, and if he didn't do it, like, you know, he's told stories about how he lost a lot of his money investing in and trying to be an actor once he left WWE. So it was, if this Marvel opportunity didn't present itself, then he was just gonna give up acting. And I think getting the success of that film with the Guardian franchise, it just led to so many other opportunities. And like, I haven't seen it, but I've heard reviews about his what's the dude? Shyamalan. What's his name?
Oh, what is that movie called? I was going to talk about it. It's a good movie.
What's his name though?
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah.
The movie is called Knock at the Cabin.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard rave reviews about it.
Okay, so first off, it's like, okay, I liked him in Guardians. I liked him in Blade Runner 2049.
Okay.
Even though he's only in it for a minute.
Okay.
But he draws you in that one. I mean,
sure.
Because so have you seen this film?
I have not.
Have you ever seen Blade Runner?
Yes.
So he's like a replicant, and he's like a farmer.
Okay.
And he's being hunted in the beginning of the movie. Not like someone's chasing after him. They just come to his home while he's farming.
Does he dress like one of the Godwins?
Yeah. Well, he dresses very sharp. Okay, not like that at all. And he just wears dress clothes, I think. And then, but like, he just seems. Might sound weird, but he just seems like a gentle person. And
yeah.
And like, I mean, he's being fought and killed by Ryan Gosling. I mean, think about that, okay? Ryan Gosling beating Batista to death.
Yeah.
But you believe it because he seems like he doesn't want to hurt anybody.
Sure. And
that's the kind of character that he basically plays in Knock at the Cabin, except a person if he was a person who has to kill people.
Yeah.
And then also he, I think being in Blade Runner got him in like the radar, I guess. I don't know radar, but made him like a person that Denis Villeneuve wants to go to because he also put him in Dune in a much more prominent role. Have you seen Dune?
I have not.
He's pretty good in that.
Okay.
And he's going to be in Dune 2 as well. And but I do think Knock at the Cabin, if you like, that was the first time I was like, oh, Dave Bautista was actually a good actor.
Yeah, and like he's done like some comedy films as well. Like he did one of those like a kid spy movie or something. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like
was it like I don't remember what it's called.
It
was in like an Uber movie too.
I have not seen that, but I wanted to see it. Stuber.
Yeah.
Like just the name is like funny.
Yes.
And I like that other actor that's in the movie. I don't know people's names. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know his
name.
The
main
either,
guy.
But he's good in like Silicon Valley and stuff.
What about Bill Goldberg as an actor?
Well, I can only remember him being in Longest Yard, right?
He was also in the Christmas classic Santa's Sleigh, which we reviewed in the archives, but we will review it again. We actually did a watch-along, so it's more of a watch-along than a review. There are two different things.
Sure they are.
He was in a he was in a sequel to a Steven Seagal film. Hold on, let me pull it up here. I can't remember the name of it, but I do own it on DVD.
Under Siege 3, Who's Next?
No, don't insult the good goddamn legacy of Under Siege. Okay, that's like one of the first movies where I saw a pair of boobs. Okay.
I apologize.
Yeah, you should.
All right, fine. Hard to Kill 2.
No, it was the one with DMX. He did a sequel to it.
What was that? It wasn't. Fuck.
I don't know. I can't remember.
If you say the name, I'm going to be like, that's right.
I'm
was
not.
it Cradle to the Grave?
No.
Damn it.
I gave up.
Okay, that's not that it was worth it. Well, wait, wasn't RVD in a movie with Steven Seagal?
I don't think so.
I feel like that's a thing.
That can't.
And and they're like in the military together.
No.
Yeah, man.
No way.
I'm Googling it.
Terry Funk, great actor turned wrestler turned actor. He was definitely a wrestler before he was an actor.
They were in a movie together called Sniper Special Ops.
What the?
In 2016.
How do I not know that? RVD and
Steven Seagal, yeah.
That's crazy.
RVD's name is Vasquez.
Come on.
RVD, I guess, is playing a Latino.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
He played a Latino?
Yes.
I don't like that.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I can't imagine his Latino accent could be that good.
It's funny because the cover of the movie, it says, you know how like on the top where it shows the actors like that are like the main stars?
Yeah.
It says Seagal, Van Damme.
Oh, yeah, okay, so you're giving the wrong impression.
Right, you're like, oh, wow, finally.
Half Past Dead 2 is the Goldberg movie.
Wow. And
Yeah.
it's good, you said.
No. No, it's not. Not good at all. He's also in a film that's really terrible that was on Netflix for a little bit that I watched called Checkpoint. Let me give you the synopsis. A vagrant discovers plans for an invasion in America and notifies the local sheriff about the plot. This already doesn't seem like something I'd be interested in at all, yet I still watched it because Goldberg was on the front with a gun in his hand and wearing like some sort of tactical vest. When the sheriff notices odd things happening after dismissing the claims, he begins to investigate the existence of a sleeper cell in the small town. This movie also features Kane Hodder, the guy who played Jason. Yeah, so there's that for you.
Oh, what about Andre the Giant?
Hey, you know what? Princess Bride, great film.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything else, though. But, you
True.
know,
He might have.
he definitely could say anybody want a peanut better than anyone I know.
That's true, and I know so many people that say it, but not like Andre did.
Give it a shot.
Me?
Mhm.
Anybody want a peanut? Nah, I can't do it.
You just said that with your voice slightly deepened.
Yeah. Isn't that how he does it?
Not really, no.
Why don't you do an impression then?
I'm not going to.
Wow, that's
So.
screwed up, man.
Sorry.
What about there's a no, that's not it. Who
What?
cares? Well, I mean, there's a guy that was in the Oddities, and I feel like he's an actor.
Kurgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear good things about his acting.
Yeah.
Better than Nathan Jones.
Yeah, that was my next person I was going to bring up.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan Jones, he's just done, like, bit parts anyways, though. But,
Sure.
you know, nothing crazy. One time, you remember Sylvester Turkey?
I do not. You know what? Maybe I do.
He had, like, a cup of coffee in WWE. Like,
Yeah.
he was with Elijah Burke. Yeah, like a big beard.
This
He's
sounds
actually
familiar.
more notable for being a guy that amateur wrestled Kurt Angle in the build-up to Kurt Angle making it to the Olympics. But regardless, Sylvester Turkey had, like, no personality. He had, like, a short run in WWE in, like, 2005 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the movie Evil Bong 2.
Whoa, Evil Bong 2.
Evil Bong 2.
That's my favorite of
The
the
sequel.
of the Evil Bong series.
Evil Bong is a good film for the wrong reasons. So I mean, like, if you like terrible horror movies, you'll enjoy the Evil Bong series. You'll also enjoy Ginger Dead Man.
Ooh.
There's like 3 Ginger Dead movies.
Wow.
These have nothing to do with wrestling now at this point. Thanksgiving, the original is great, especially as we approach Turkey Day in the near future here. Gobble Gobble.
Sure.
Thanksgiving actually has a trilogy.
Ooh.
I've not seen 2 or 3, but in the original, I mean, it's just an actual turkey that kills people.
Right.
At one point, you know, he skins a guy's face off and then wears it and knocks on the front door of the family. And they answer the door, and it's clearly a turkey wearing the skin face of a dead person. And they just talked, "Oh, hey, Billy, good to see you. Like, come on in."
Yeah.
And it's like it's a turkey.
Idiots. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen the Puppet Master movies?
Yes.
Have you seen Puppet Master the Littlest Reich?
No, but you know the guy who made the Puppet Master movies lives in Cleveland.
Really?
Yeah, like he has like a house somewhere near my girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
because her friend knows the guy that made these movies, and it's just what a small world. But yeah.
Sure is.
Mhm.
Well, so you haven't seen the Littlest Reich?
No,
Have you heard of it?
no,
Do you know? Have you? Well, you don't know names, right?
not really.
Do you? Have you ever seen Reno 911?
Yes.
You know Dangle,
Which one is that?
the one with the short shorts.
Yes.
He's the lead character in this one,
That's
Okay.
weird.
and because it's like a horror comedy.
Yeah.
All right. There's a part. So like all it takes place in a hotel. Okay. There's a part where there's like this pregnant lady, right?
Okay.
The puppet, she's sleeping with her legs open, and the puppet goes into her vagina, and then cuts a hole through her stomach, and she's like looking at her stomach like ah, and like this puppet comes out with her baby
Okay.
and kills the baby.
Oh wow. Okay. Jesus
It's one of
Christ.
the best scenes I've ever seen.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I was
great.
into it.
I feel like it's important to mention, keeping on the subject here before we begin to wrap things up, is 2 of the best wrestlers turned actor. They've never really had a starring role per se, but Kevin Nash,
Mhm.
when he's not playing a zombie in a movie with Kurt Angle, and Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
I feel like they've done an incredible job.
I can't remember ever seeing Jesse Ventura act before.
You're missing out.
I mean, I love the guy. He's
Predator,
sick.
Running Man.
He was a Predator?
He was in. Yeah, I ain't got time to bleed.
Huh.
That's his line.
You don't say. Never seen it.
Wow. Yeah, he's in Running Man. He had a bit role in like Batman Forever back in the day. There was a couple movies that he starred in.
I don't remember him being in Batman Forever.
He's like a prison guard.
Did he not have a little gem in his
Actually,
chin dimple?
I think it was Batman and Robin, so even worse.
Oh.
Yeah.
The nipples.
He did star in a movie that I want to review and I have on DVD called Woodshop, where he plays a woodshop teacher, and this happens in like 2005, years after he's the governor of Minnesota. He's doing a movie called Woodshop. Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, is it? It's just not good. But yeah, Kevin Nash, he had some great roles. Obviously, Super Shredder in Ninja Turtles 2, near and dear to my heart.
He was in Punisher.
He was in The Punisher as the Russian.
Didn't he get stabbed for real in that movie?
He did get stabbed for real in that movie.
That's pretty crazy.
Magic Mike.
Oh, yeah, duh.
So
he was in a movie, I think, just called Dog with Channing Tatum.
He was.
Yeah. He was like a pothead.
Yeah, the box office on a movie called Dog was probably incredible. What should we call this movie? It's about a guy and his dog.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to call it a guy and his dog. Can we come up with something like a little more creative? Creative but simple.
Mm-hmm.
What about Dog?
Wow.
I think we got a winner.
Right.
Also, it'll be easy for people to find when they search it.
Yeah,
like
Google Dog.
What's that movie about the dog? Let me Google it real quick. Movie about dog. Can't remember who's in it. Let's see. Dog's Journey, Strays, A Dog's Purpose, A Dog's Way Home, My Dog Skip, Max,
Airbud 2.
Think Like a Dog. Oh, Dog. Yeah, I think it's called Dog.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
Yep,
I'm into it.
That's the one.
What is what about what wrestlers that haven't really done much acting do you think would be good at acting? If you pick, just keep it like, what about 3?
Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just in like a Fast and Furious movie for a second, isn't he?
I think so.
Okay, but
he's also, isn't he Aquaman?
I think you have him confused.
Really?
With Jason, what's his name?
I was gonna say, oh, now you know actors' names.
Yeah. Only the sexy ones.
That's fair.
Roman Reigns, I think
they're
would be
equally
incredible.
sexy.
You know what? Based on his commercial experience, LA Knight's grown in popularity. I think he could probably do some pretty good acting roles. I could see him being a little bit of an action star.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Starks, I think, has potential. He's got some charisma.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest MJF, but he's in that Von Erich movie.
Well, you know what? Perhaps maybe this could be the stepping stone towards more roles.
Yeah.
I think Max has what it takes to really transition into the acting. I feel like, you know what? Britt Baker did Powerbomb with me, and that's when I realized how good Britt could be on promos.
Mm-hmm.
Just because she never did promos on the indies, and when she did this movie, I was blown away by her acting ability. So I really think Britt has a lot of untapped potential as an actress, for sure. Trying to think of more WWE guys. I mean, I think Cody, he's done a couple acting things, but I think,
Arrow.
I don't know if the bleach blonde is going to cut it in Hollywood like that.
No.
But I think, he's got acting experience. He's got that acting background. I think there's potential for, something for him in the mainstream, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anybody else. I mean, even Jimmy and Jay, their performance in The Bloodline, just, I don't know. It could easily be put in any great TV show, movie. I really think we are living in a time where so many guys over the past couple of years have made themselves top guys to where it's like their believability, the emotional investment they've created with their promos, really, I think that investment has been created based on the idea that you can watch these segments like you would a good short story on a TV show or something like a scene in a movie. And so I think that, there's an easy transition and correlation between the two.
I agree. That especially when with like storylines like that where the acting is even more important than the in-ring wrestling.
Well, isn't Seth Rollins about to be in one of the Marvel films?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
And he did have a small cameo, I believe, in a Sharknado movie.
Did he really?
I believe so.
Huh.
For some reason, every year when those Sharknado movies were coming about, they were finding a way to pigeonhole a wrestler in it. Like Kurt Angle was in one of them. I think Seth was in one of them.
Was Jericho?
Jericho, I think, was in one of them.
Because I know he likes them.
He was a guest host on Raw. Jared from Subway. He was in one of the Shark. Oh wait, they cut that scene out. Why did they cut that scene out?
I don't know.
Remember.
I don't know. Maybe I'll Google it later.
Just Google it now.
Okay.
I'm sure your wife won't find that weird.
She won't.
Yeah.
She doesn't go through my Google searches, you know.
Anyways, I don't know. Any other?
Have you seen Chris Jericho in Jay and Silent Bob reboot?
You know what? I watched Jay and Silent Bob reboot, and I remember just thinking it was probably the worst Kevin Smith movie that I remember watching that involves the Jay and Silent Bob
Have you seen Husk?
universe.
Or Tusk, I mean?
I've not seen Tusk.
Well, I liked it.
But I'm saying...
My wife didn't like it. I liked it.
I'm saying in the Jay and Silent Bob
Sure.
universe,
Yeah.
like I didn't seem very memorable to me. I literally don't remember.
You don't even remember Jericho scene, huh?
Literally don't
It's
remember.
very interesting to me, okay? You might make me edit this part out.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I'd say I liked. He played a Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, and I felt
I
like,
do
wow,
remember that now.
he must have asked his wife for pointers on this.
Okay. All right.
Because she was a January 6th...
Yeah. I get it.
You she's a domestic terrorist.
Yeah. You know, my ex-girlfriend, Mary, her birthday was on January 6th, and I hope that event ruins her birthday every year.
It has to.
Because it's like kind of like if you were born on 9/11,
Right.
no one cares about your birthday.
Right.
anymore.
They're just going to think of that tragedy.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Sure is. What can you do?
I don't know. I guess
I think comment below what's your favorite tragedy?
what tragedy ruined your birthday? So
That's
it could be
better.
Something on like a grand worldwide scale, or it could just be something personal. There are so many tragedies that have occurred in my life personally that
we
that just
know.
overshadowed my birthday. One year, my birthday was on Columbus Day. So,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
It also once fell on Yom Kippur.
Yeah, wait, not Chris Columbus Day. Christopher Columbus.
Christopher Columbus, yes.
Oh,
But we
yeah.
already agreed that we were going to change Columbus Day to Chris Columbus
Yes.
Day in honor of
That's canon now.
man behind Home Alone.
No doubt,
So-
no doubt.
I feel like we've done stuff that is borderline cancelable to end the show. I feel like we should wrap up now.
Okay.
But I think in general, we can all agree that Batista, probably the most celebrated wrestler turned actor of all time.
I think we do agree.
Is there any wrestler turned actor that we left out? Someone that you think is better than Dave Batista? Comment below. Do you think I haven't given Hulk Hogan enough credit for his film performances? I won't dispute your comments if you think he should be ranked higher. Comment below. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you download podcasts on iTunes, Spotify. But we won't be there for too much longer because we're moving to patreon.com/IronWrestling. Make sure you subscribe for free over there because that's where you'll see the podcast starting in December. Of course, you can follow us on social media at Iron on Wrestling on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure you follow me on social media. I'm Gregory Iron on Twitter or X, whatever the kids are calling it these days. Gregory_Iron on Instagram. Facebook.com/TheHandicappedHero. You can book me for pro wrestling, motivational speaking, or pro wrestling seminars over there. You can also find me on Cameo. I can give you a shout out of some sort. Perhaps maybe you want me to say something about Thanksgiving coming up. Perhaps you want me to talk about Columbus Day. I know it's a past thing, but I could still talk about it. If there's anything I could really talk about over on Cameo, just search Gregory Iron. Buy my t-shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/Gregory Iron. We're talking my shirts, Aaron shirts, which helps support Aaron while he's injured. So give a dog a bone.
Mm-hmm.
Throw some money his way, buy an Aaron t-shirt.
Bone
Iron
that
on
dog.
Wrestling t-shirts. And yeah, that's all I want to plug. Sean, is there anything you want to put over, my friend?
Well, I was thinking about my favorite wrestling movie that I forgot to mention.
Okay.
One Night in China. I'll leave.
You can stay.
All right.
You're fine.
We're going to watch it?
Not together. I feel like that's just weird if we do that.
Okay. Suit yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that movie with China, Queen of the Ring. The poster says featuring a 9 wrestler gangbang. So I don't know if you want to.
I think that's the spiritual successor.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I used to have the poster to it. I don't know what happened to it. I think it got a little sticky. Not because of China, because of the Mean Gene lookalike. That's all the time we have for this episode of Iron on Wrestling. Make sure you check out all of our other clips on YouTube, and we've made all of our plugs. And with that being said, it's time to go. And we'll see you again next week. Until then, subscribe to the Patreon. Listen to the show for free. December, we're gone. We're gone from all your free platforms. Go to Patreon. Just download the app. I know it takes a few seconds, and it's a lot of work. Download the app and subscribe. You won't regret it. With that being said, Sean, I think we need to kiss goodbye.
Let's do that. Just a little peck with our eyes open.